Hey there, and welcome to this inside look into the Wiley CPA Excel review course. Now, my name is Brendan Vagner. I'm a CPA, PhD, former KPMG manager. I'm also a college professor, and I'm the founder of CPAexamsuccess.com, which is a website that is jam-packed full of all types of tips and strategies and resources to help you pass the CPA exam and to help you do it quickly. Now, that being said, this video, it is all about the Wiley CPA Excel review course. So I'm going to be diving in and showing you exactly what you would get. And by diving in, I mean I'm going to be taking a screencast of the review course and showing you all of the different attributes that it has to offer. So you are going to know exactly what it is that you would get with Wiley CPA Excel review. Now, before we dive right into it, I do want to mention I highly recommend that you take advantage of the free trial access that I offer either above or below this video, depending upon where you're watching it at. If you're on YouTube, it's going to be in the description within YouTube. If you're on the website, again, above or below, there are going to be links to the free trial access. I highly recommend to all CPA exam candidates that you take advantage of that free trial access because you want to make sure that you absolutely love the course before you make the purchase. It is a lot of money. The other thing I want to point out is, depending upon when you're watching this, there could be discounts, again, in the description in YouTube or above or below the video on the website. So take advantage of those discounts. You definitely want to save as much money as you possibly can. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm always trying to make sure that you guys can get the best price possible on these courses. So that being said, let's dive into it, and I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get with Wiley CPA Excel review course. All right, let's do it.
Alright guys, so here we are, we're inside Wiley CPA Excel, and you have the option to choose, obviously, from the auditing section, the financial section, regulation, or BEC. And so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to select the auditing section, just give you an idea of what it looks like inside of the courses. Alright, so here we are, we're inside now, and the first thing that you're going to see is a welcome to Wiley CPA Excel, and they're going to give you a quick overview here of your plan, and then a little brief overview of the study, and then the assessment section. And so they also give you a quick little video here that you would want to watch, but we're going to go ahead and skip over that, and we're going to cut straight to the create your plan down here. Alright guys, so now we get into this custom study planner, and the first thing that you see there is that you need to select when you're going to start studying. And so for today's tutorial purpose, we'll just leave that as today's date. And then a really important one to pay attention to is when you're going to finish studying. You definitely want to make sure that that's aligned with when you have your official CPA exam section scheduled for. You definitely wouldn't want to be finishing this course too far in advance, and you definitely wouldn't want to be finishing it, obviously, after when you've scheduled your CPA exam for. So really pay close attention to that. But then, and this is what's really neat about their planning function, and it's so easy to use. You just move down in here, and you're going to select the days that you know you can study. And so in my resources on my website, I talk about how to determine what days you're actually going to be able to study. Some people, they don't put a whole lot of thought into that. So it is really important that you really think through what days you're going to be able to study and how many hours. And that's what's really nice about this tool, is that you can easily slide each one of these days up and down in terms of how many hours you can devote for that particular day. So maybe Monday's your day off. So instead of 3 hours, which was the default, maybe you want to move that up to 7 hours. You can easily do that right here. We're just going to move that back down to 3 hours. And for me personally, I like to take Saturday off. So I would unselect Saturday, I would select Friday, and then I would move Friday up and say that I want to study 3 hours on Friday. And we'll just go ahead and leave 6 hours devoted to Sunday, because that'd be a weekend day for me, and I would have extra time that day. So you can see over here on the right, the total hours now selected is 21, and this was based upon 6 weeks available to study because of that finish date that I had selected up here. And so with that, this plan is 21 hours a week for 6 weeks. And that's just really nice to have this custom plan right here built into your CPA review course. And so then let's just go ahead and hit preview, and right now you're seeing your syllabus. So we're previewing the syllabus, and this is really nice because it has it all nicely laid out for you based upon what we just filled out in that study plan. So you can see here the introduction, 1 day, then you move down into the first major section, ethics, professional responsibilities, and general principles. You can see we've got 5 days devoted to that. Then we move down into section 2. They're clearly telling you there's 7 days for that. And then section 3, you've got 12 full days. And then that section 4, 8 full days. And then to work practice exams, they're giving you 4 days down here and then 1 day of test bank. So they're laying it out for you really nice and clear so that you can see. And then over here, you can, if you move your cursor over to this area, if we had made progress through it, you'd see obviously progress within that column, and then you'd have total points associated with it and grades that would be completed. But since none of it's been completed thus far, you're not seeing that. So let's just go ahead and hit looks good. Let's get started. And then we're going to move into the major dashboard. And so here that is. Everything that you need in terms of the ability to move around within your course, it's all right here on the left-hand side menu. So super clean and easy to use. And I'll also point out right now, it's very modern looking, so very clean. I really like the way Wiley CPA Excel is set up within here. You've got right here the first thing that that you're seeing here is your syllabus. And so as you move down, the first thing that they want you to do is your current assignment is welcome to the auditing and attestation, go to study. But before we click on that, let's just kind of look here at the syllabus and let's open up your study plan. So you've got the welcome down here. That's what they have right up there at the top, which they would want you to go ahead and complete today on your first day. And they give you the estimated time to complete. So it's really nice. You know exactly how long it's going to be. And let's say that we were done with that. The next section here is ethics, professional responsibilities, and general principles. And remember, we talked about 5 days, and you still have that 5 days there. But the first thing that they're going to want you to do is take a diagnostic assessment. And so that's really important. It's going to identify your weak areas and your strong areas. And so I've talked about before that the different CPA review course companies, their initial assessment is different in terms of how robust it is. And what they do with that assessment can be different between courses. And so when you click on this diagnostic here within Wiley, their diagnostic number 1, you can see over here on the right, it's 50 total questions. And so what you would do is you would very simply just go ahead and hit begin assessment. And then this is just the directions page, very similar to what you would see when you go to take your official CPA exam. The directions isn't a huge deal right now. We're just going to go ahead and down here on the bottom, this is kind of your menu as how you move through the questions. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are all the questions you have to complete within this assessment. This is set up very similar to the official CPA exam, which is really nice because you're going to be comfortable once you're in that exam, environment and you're actually taking it because you're going to be used to it. You'll notice here down underneath the question numbers, there's flags. So you can flag a question and you can come back to it. Again, very similar to the official CPA exam. So let's just go ahead and hit question number 1 here. And you can see up at the top, you've got your time spent. And then you've got a calculator to access if you would need one. Over here on the bottom right, you've got your next and your previous to move through these questions, or you could just find one and click on it. But very similar to the official CPA exam and very nice and clean. I really like how Wiley has this set up within their course. So one thing that is just really nice about having this clock up here at the top is because you don't want to be spending a ton of time on each one of the questions. You know, it's something that I talk about in my resources on my website, and it's something a lot of people can fall victim to. So having that clearly up there so you're not spending 6-7 minutes on each question, that's really important. But let's just go ahead and haphazardly select A there, and then all you would do, you know, is hit next, go to the next question. Now you're on question 2. You can see it's blued out because you selected question 1 or an answer to question 1. Now for number 2, let's go ahead and just haphazardly select A there, but let's flag it. So down here, that's what I'm talking about. You can flag your question and then just move on. And so when you're done with it, you can come back to these flag questions if you want to and give another go at it. So that's the assessment. Let's just go ahead and get out of it. Let's just go ahead and submit this. Testlet, yeah, save and quit. And we're back to this dashboard. And so we haphazardly selected 2 questions. and we went ahead and finished the testlet there. So that's why you're seeing a grade of 2 over here. One correct. One of them was correct. And then one was incorrect and 48 skipped. And so no matter how many you do, you're going to get this dashboard summary, which is really nice. To give you an idea of how well you're doing and just very efficiently. You can very easily retake the flagged questions. So those ones that you specifically flagged as you were going out, ones you knew you were struggling with, you can retake those. So that's a nice thing to have there as well. And then you can retake any incomplete, and just in general, you can retake the assessment. But one thing to point out, as you move down, you'll see over here on the right, your next steps. So it's telling you that if your score is less than 75 on the diagnostic assessment, review those results to isolate the lesson giving you the trouble, and then consider returning it to it for additional study. So one thing to note is, Wiley at the current present time is not taking this assessment and putting you on a custom path, so to speak. It's kind of up to you to go through and look at your strong and your weak areas and make a decision on whether or not you're going to want to skip areas or dive down deeper into certain areas because maybe you're just not that strong in them. So that's one thing to point out, but their assessment tool is very functional and very easy to use. And so then after you've done this and you've analyzed what your strengths and your weaknesses are based upon the assessment, it's still giving you your next steps. You can just go ahead and return to the syllabus, or you can move on to the next diagnostic, and that's what they want you to do here. So let's just go ahead and hit next diagnostic. So this would be the second one, total questions. There are 8 of them, so we would just go ahead and begin that diagnostic. Very similar to the last one. We're just going to go ahead and haphazardly select one, and then just go ahead and save it and exit. All right, so once you're done with those diagnostics, the next thing you're going to want to do is go back to the syllabus, and you're going to want to go down and take a look at one of the courses that you're going to have to do, a lecture video. So let's take a look at a non-diagnostic task that you would need to do. So an example down here would be the Securities and Exchange Commission, right here, the number 33. So again, pay attention to when they want you to start that and when the due date of it is. And they give you the estimated time to complete. So let's just go ahead and select that one just to give you an idea of what kind of their lecture-based path looks like. So you would go ahead and select that. And so here's the lesson. So at the top, it's clearly defined. It's the Securities and Exchange Commission lesson. And then down here, it's going to give you what your current grade is and your time spent within this particular section. And so right here, you see the video. So here's your lecture video. Very easy to use. You would just go ahead and hit select play and watch your lesson right here. And then right underneath that, you move into the study section. And so this is associated with the video, but very easy for you to just go ahead and go through and read and get your knowledge for that particular section if you need to. Maybe you get everything you need from the video and you don't necessarily need to move into the study guide, or maybe you're somebody who really likes utilizing a study guide versus watching a lecture video. It's just nice that it's all right here in one place for you. So let me give you an idea of how easy it is for you to identify things that you might want to come back to, as well as take notes. So let's say you're in this study guide section, or if you were up in the video section as well. If you wanted to take a note, you can see over here, you've got this little icon. You would go ahead and select that, and you would just add your note. So let's just say testing note function, and let's add that note. So a note now has been added for this section and specifically under this video section. Now let's say you're down here in the study guide and you notice something that you want to come back to. It's very easy for you to highlight that. So let's just go ahead and highlight something. Maybe you're interested in this. You would just go ahead and highlight it, and then you can see here within this blue there's a pin that pops up. You would just go ahead and select that, and there you go. It highlights everything for you. And then now, and I'll show you here in a second how you're able to identify where you've highlighted and where you've left notes so that you can come back to that. So then if we just kind of scroll down, you can see how in-depth these study guides can be, which is very, very nice and easy for you to go through and know that you're getting everything you need to get. Down here at the bottom, this is where they're going to have a summary of all of your notes and all of your highlights for that particular section. And then once you're done with this, once you're done watching the video and going through the study guide, you can go ahead and take an assessment to see whether or not you've mastered this lesson, or you can go ahead and move on to the next assignment. So let's just go ahead and hit next assignment there. All right, and so it takes us to the next assignment. So this one is Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, and you can see similar to the last one, the template's going to be the same for all these. You've got your video lecture section right here, so just very easily go ahead and select play, or you move down into the study guide section. So that's going to be how all your lessons are teed up for you. So keep in mind, we took notes and we also highlighted something. So let's go over here into the side menu. So right here we've got a function that I'm highlighting over here on the left, notes and highlights. So let's go ahead and select that notes and highlights. All right, now let's go into, we were in ethics, professional responsibilities, and general principles. And we were specifically in this Securities and Exchange Commission. So that's where we left notes. So you can see 2 identified. Now there were other sections before this, and you notice there's nothing there. So there's no icon noting that we left a note or we left any highlights. So it's very easy for you to go to and identify what sections did you leave something in. You go ahead and click within that. And then you scroll up to the top, and then here's your summary of everything that you left. So there's that note, testing the note function, and then there is where we highlighted the section that we were interested in. So we don't actually have to go back into it. It's just all nicely laid out right here in a summary for you, which I really, really like. So the other things to note within the functionality of Wiley CPA Excel, you can see over here on the left-hand side, we were working within the syllabus just a second ago, so you see how nicely that's laid out for you. You could click on current assignment over here on the left. So let's just go ahead and click on current assignment. And so that takes you to exactly what it is that you're supposed to be performing that particular day. So this is day 1. So this is just a welcome to the auditing section. And that's a video that's the first thing they would want me to do. So you don't have to stumble around within this review course. Just go to current assignment. That's what you're supposed to do. So very nice just to do that. Also down here, in addition to the current assignment, you can go to your current assessment. So whatever assessment that you need to be taking that particular day, you would just go ahead and click within it, and here you go. This is the assessment that you need to be completing. So you can see here, this was that diagnostic that we attempted earlier, where we just haphazardly selected a couple of those first options of A, and we didn't finish it. So this is something that we would need to finish, and it's teed up for us right here. So the other thing within the sidebar that you would want to take note of is the practice exams. Many of you guys obviously are interested in practice exams. So here's how you would access those. You would just go ahead and click this practice exams within the menu over here on the left. And you can see here, this is kind of giving you an overview of the practice exams, and it's telling you the assessment details. So 80 total questions. It's timed for 4 hours, so very similar to the official CPA exam. And then down here at the bottom, you would select which practice exam that you would want to take. So practice exam A is selected right now. So let me give you an idea of what the practice exams look like with Wiley CPA Excel. So let's just go ahead and hit begin assessment. And largely, it's going to be very similar to that just initial assessment that you took. When you're answering questions, they want you to feel like you're in the official CPA exam. So obviously their practice exams are going to be geared towards that, but you also saw how their assessments are geared towards that. So again, this is just the general directions page, but if you were to go ahead and click on question number 1 down here at the bottom, remember that's how you navigate through. You can see question number 1 nice and clearly laid out for you. You've got your time remaining up here at the top, so you can see how long it's taking you to work each question. So you can kind of self-gauge if you're taking 3 minutes versus 5 minutes, whatever it is. You can pay attention to that clock. The other thing to note, you have the calculator again over here on the right. So this is just for answering questions right now. And Wiley CPA Excel has great simulations as well, and you're going to see that here in just a second. And to give you an idea of that, let's just go ahead and hit A over there, and let's just submit these testlets related to the multiple choice questions, and that way I can show you the simulations. So once you submit a testlet, you have the option to take a break, just like the CPA exam, or you go ahead and continue on to part 2. So let's just go ahead and continue on. And again, part 2, that's going to be multiple choice questions. So I really want to get you the simulation. So let me just go ahead and submit this. So that's part 2 is done now. Now let's just go through part 3. All right, so here we are. So we're within a simulation here. So this is what a simulation is going to look like for you. You can split this screen horizontally. So up here in the top right-hand corner, you've got that option. You can split it vertically. So you can utilize the left-hand space as well as the right-hand space. You can easily access authoritative literature. So right here, so if you want to look something up, you just very simply go into this search bar. Let's just type in auditing, search, and here you go. If you wanted something more specific like internal controls, so here's everything, all the sections that you would want to be paying attention. To related to internal control. So here we go. This first one, you click on it, communicating internal control related matters identified in an audit. So here's the authoritative literature function for you. You've also, again, got the calculator up there. So you go ahead and click on the calculator. That's what it's going to look like. You've got a spreadsheet function you can utilize. So if you go ahead and click that, you can use this spreadsheet function, which is very nice. And then, so right now we've got it split. The screen is split. Remember, we split it vertically. So if we want unsplit, we just go ahead and unsplit it. And then you would just work through this simulation. So that is what a simulation is going to look like within Wiley CPA Excel, and very similar to what you're going to find with the official CPA exam. So Wiley CPA Excel did a really great job with this. So let's go ahead and submit that testlet. And so there's technically one more, but I'm going to go ahead and very quickly go through this and get you back to the dashboard. That way I can show you some other things within Wiley CPA Excel. All right, guys, so we're back at the dashboard. So the next item in that menu on the left-hand side that you would want to pay attention to is the metrics. So let's just go ahead and click on the metrics. And you can see here that it's going to give you your diagnostics. If you're over here on the right, you're going to get your average grade, your highest grade, whatever your lowest grade is. But then you move down in here into your individual diagnostics, and you can dive deeper. So their dashboard results is nice, and you can easily go ahead and download that if you wanted to. So just another metric view that you can utilize to help you assess how well you're doing within those diagnostics or those assessments. So then let's go ahead and let's click on Exam Planner. So you've got your Exam Planner. You can easily access that right here and make updates and changes if need be. Then you've also got Plan Summary over here in the left-hand side. So if you click on that Plan Summary, you can update this, edit it for each one of the individual sections. So for auditing, that's what we're in now. But you can also have BEC, financial, regulation, and all of that just right here, nice and easy for you laid out. So not a huge deal when you're in an individual section and you're studying for something like auditing. So with that said, let's go back up to the dashboard. So this is going to be something that you're going to utilize almost on a daily basis. All right, so we're in the dashboard, and again, this is what you're going to be seeing a lot. So when you access this on a daily basis, you're going to be coming in here and you're going to be paying attention to, what's your overall score? How many days do you have remaining? And then again, very nice and easily right here on the right-hand side, your current assignment. So you can access that current assignment through this dashboard view, or like we talked about earlier, you can do it over here on the left-hand side on that left-hand menu. But what's really nice about this is they give you the time remaining for that current assignment. So there's no guesswork for you. You know exactly how much time you have to devote within that individual day. And it's just nice and easily laid out there for you. So there's no guesswork. Then as you move down this dashboard, you can see here you've got your assignment timeline. So they're keeping you on this very specific timeline. And they tell you, how many assignments completed, the assignments that are overdue. So those are going to be in red. So you need to get those done. So they're trying very hard to keep you on track. And then especially if you're skipping any assignments, they've got those laid out for you over here on the right. You definitely don't want to be a skipper unless you're for sure that you understand that you know that you understand that material really, really well. So then you move down into this exam planner section, and this is what's really nice. It takes all the guesswork out of it. If you're not just utilizing this current assignment function up here on the top, you can also come down in here into your individual day, and you can select on each one of these individual assignments they have for you, and you can move through those methodically. So the first one, and it's nice, you hover over it and it tells you what you need to do. So there's that welcome to the auditing video that you saw at the top. That's got to get done. Then the next thing that you see there is that diagnostic assessment. So you got to fully get that diagnostic assessment done. And then they've got the other assignments that you need to get through as well. And then over here on the right, they give you very nicely your course completion percentages. So super, super nice. That's really Wiley CPA Excel in a nutshell. Now, I do want to show you some of the added features that you're going to get. And so let's just kind of bring this up. What the Premier course currently includes with Wiley CPA Excel, just a couple items to pay attention to. So you've got professor mentoring with online support from subject expert professors. That's noted right here in that upper right-hand column of that listing. That's something that's really important. You can easily reach out and you can get help. That I can't tell you how important that is. But then the other thing that a lot of students want to know is they want to know how many multiple choice questions are you getting. Well, they're giving you, you can see here, 8,000 multiple choice questions, and believe me, that is plenty to get you through the CPA exam and for you to pass on your first time. You have 300 plus task-based simulations, so another really, really big point. But then you've also got online test bank with an additional 4,200 plus multiple choice questions and 200 task-based simulations. So more than plenty practice that you're going to get out of the Wiley CPA Excel. And again, this is that premier option that they have available, and this is currently what's being offered through that. They've also got this companion mobile app. That's another big thing to kind of point out, which makes it easy. And then currently here, which a lot of students want to know about, is what's the pass guarantee. So they've got this partner until you pass guarantee with free online content and courseware updates until you pass. So that's what's currently being offered through that premier course. So just some important things for you to pay attention to. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. That would really help out. I definitely want to know if this is helping you guys in terms of seeing what's available for you out there. But I try and do a really good job at giving you guys as much information as possible to help you make that decision on what CPA review course to go with. So again, like I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to try this out for free, there's a free trial access in the description, or if you're on the website, it's going to be above or below this video. Take advantage of that. Highly recommend it. All right, guys, until the next video, I wish you guys luck on your upcoming studies for the CPA exam. You guys are going to do great. Thanks.